you can drive yourself crazy trying to keep your environment toxin free. It'll drive you crazy. It's impossible. It's literally impossible to do. If you want to go out to a restaurant and have a meal, you're going to be getting exposed to toxins. If you want to walk outside in this day and age, we still have fallout from nuclear disasters, from Hiroshima and Nagasaki. There's still stuff in the atmosphere.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jenna Plackert.
And I'm Bianca Reyna.
This is the Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Let me start first by saying there are few men in my life that have changed my life really for the better.
Hey.
And there's been a couple men that changed my life for the worse.
All right.
I
can raise my hand to that one.
I could probably count on one hand who has changed my life, and that's my husband, Joe, my son, Jason, and my dad. Quentin falls in there about fifth. And let me just tell you, if you would have told me in 2025 that I would go on a detox, that I would actually stay on it and almost do everything correctly per the written instructions, I would have been like, hell no. And I was terrified of a detox because of those days back in the early 2000s where I did the master cleanse and just dove in, and it literally felt like somebody was trying to murder me from the inside.
I like the master cleanse. Okay.
Yes, yeah. But it's not something that you can just be eating all crap and then all of a sudden you go, oh, I'm going to start drinking lemon and maple syrup and cayenne pepper for a week. Your system doesn't like that. And Quentin has a way of really taking you through step by step and unearthing the path for the person. It's customized. It's simple. It's not as hard as you think. And it gets a little bit progressively harder. But that's only a point of view, to be honest. Yeah, sometimes it gets monotonous and then I'll go off and then I'll feel like crap, just a little crap, like a little bloaty, or, oh, I have fluff again. And then I'll be like, you know what, screw this, I'm going back on it. So that's my way of introducing Quentin. So with this conversation, I just want to dive in. Not only did I really find out a lot about my body, a lot about herbs that can help us, a lot about ways to not even go towards antibiotics in a lot of cases, because there was a time during it that I got a really bad UTI. And I did end up having to go to a doctor, but he sent me right away everything that was great for that. And so I went shopping. And I took Quentin did. Okay. And I went shopping and I got on it right away. So I was even taking minimal intake of the Western crap.
Yeah, I can get it.
He's also gotten me to look at things and go, nope, that's poison. I'm not putting that in my body. Yeah. And I think we just are like, it's in the grocery store and clearly the FDA approved it. No, that means nothing. And that's what I've learned
in the US. Yeah.
Yeah. In these 4.5 months working with Quentin, that's what I've learned. Up until I started recently posting on social about it and then posted my celery juice. And he was like, don't do it. Don't do it in the plastic bottle. And I know about the microplastics, but sometimes things are just a little easier when I get insanely busy.
Sure.
So I'm like, oh, I'm going to get the suja juices. And then I'm like, maybe not after Quentin. It's not worth it. It's not worth the trade-off. Just juice it up and just get it fresh. And it doesn't take long to make a shake. So we do freeze things too. But not everything is fresh in my world. And that's just been the way that I've had to go about it. And I think I'll probably progress into everything even being fresh eventually.
I think Quinn probably would faint in my house.
We've cleaned up your diet a little bit, just me doing this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're working on her.
Yeah. I'm in progress. It's okay. It's a family thing.
Quentin, I'm going to go ahead and bring you up and we'll just kind of dive into this.
Without further ado.
Yeah. How are you?
You look great.
Yeah. You're muted though. You're still muted. Hold on.
I don't think can you hear us? Yeah, you can.
I hope everyone can hear us.
I can't hear myself. There it is.
Great. Perfect.
Hi.
Okay, good. Hi, how are you?
I like the style that you're sporting here. It's very handsome on you.
I had a little accident cutting my hair maybe 2 weeks ago, so I just had to take it all off.
Okay. So you're like in your bad boy era. I'm digging it.
When I was younger, I used to go shaved head, let it grow long, and then shave my head again and never go get a haircut. Once in a while, every couple of years, I'll have the shaved head.
Yeah. All right. I like it with the cross, the white tee. I mean, it's got a vibe.
I like the vibe.
Yeah.
It's bad boy vibe.
Say about me. I love it. Let's dive into all the changes Jenna has had. And and I know Jenna because I've been working with her closely for the last 15 years. And I know how she will kick and scream. So for everybody that might get worried that she said drill sergeant, that's just because that's what Jenna needs.
I think in this case it was
like that. But Jenna is very but let's just say this. Quentin, what you've done with my business partner here is tremendous. There are days when I walked in and I feel amazing. And when your business partner says that, even if it's your spouse, anybody that you work in close proximity, it's a great vibe, right? I'm like, I do too now. Thanks. And I have to tell you that this detox I just feel so good. I feel like I'm floating. I feel like I'm getting so much work done. And I don't think she realizes how this affects everything around her. But I'm just saying this from outside looking in and working next to her. Like those are the differences that I saw in just her personality. And if you think about that with the new research that's coming out about how diet really affects the mental, and I can link some too, but I'm sure you have much more to say on it. It's been a blessing. So thank you for being in both of our worlds. I'll let you.
Let's say a couple weeks ago, I asked you to send me what were my initial symptoms that we talked about. And you sent me a list, and I was looking at the list and I was thinking it was actually even way more than that. But the biggest one was brain fog.
For sure.
And I did not know that I had brain fog to that degree. I did not know my brain was not operating that way. And to the point that I was just like, yeah, I have it on the occasion. But my language is clearer. My thoughts are clearer. And that my sleep is better. And even though this isn't like what people think of as chronic illness, that was chronic.
Sure.
Yes.
No question about it.
And I think that people just go on with their life and they just say it's aging, and then they just keep getting worse and they just keep saying it's aging. And they don't even say, maybe it's all this processed food I'm eating.
Yeah. Look, first of all, Jenna was a fantastic client. Don't let her tell you anything other than that. Great.
Good. Thank you. Because I feel like sometimes I was like, no.
Look, Jenna did everything I asked of her. And when she got a little off track, we just brought her back to what our goal was here. It's easy when you're in a healing journey to get a little sidetracked and craving. But then as you get into more healing, like Jenna's experience, you go out and you do some of those things that aren't the best for you. Your body tells you right away that it didn't like that and to get back to what you were doing. So it's, like I said, something clicks in someone when they're healing, to where they go out and they eat something that just doesn't serve them. And it becomes easier for them not to do it anymore. They just crave those healing foods. And Bianca, what you were saying about her kind of overall feel and happiness, that's the power of detoxification of the body. When you start to pull the junk out and you start to get your detox pathways open, and you have the flow of energy back in the body, your toxins are out, your pathogens are getting knocked back, your inflammation throughout the body comes down, and your vibration and consciousness rise.
Yes.
When you were talking, time, it's a byproduct of healing that no one expects. You just become more of a vibrational being. Your consciousness goes up, and everyone around you feels it.
Yes.
But I can just be around you, and that energy that you give off, because that's what happens when we get our bodies cleaned out properly. The problem is no one knows how to do that properly. And speaking about that old detox you did, there's so many harmful detoxes out there. There's a right way to detox, and then there's a lot of wrong ways. There's only one right way to do it, really, and it should be customized to each person, like we did for you. If we went after your set of symptoms, your conditions, your preferences, and we made a detox plan for you. And that's really critical as well, because everyone's dealing with different things. So the detox it's just, I don't put all my clients on the exact same. Everyone's got something different: healing foods, different healing herbs, supplements, cleanses. Some things work for others that don't work for other people. So you have to be able to be flexible. Otherwise, healing can be even tougher than it already is, because as Jenna, you have some detox symptoms every once in a while. That's part of the purging process. But when you can really tailor make something to someone's needs, it makes their healing journey much easier. So I didn't get Jenna better. She got herself better. I just simply
couldn't have done it alone, either.
Along the way. That's all I did. It was just taught her what she needed to do. And she did all the work.
Yeah.
Did all the detoxification and healing. I just showed her the way. That's all.
When you were talking right now, Quentin, some realization happened in my head that because the experience of her having just a higher vibration, that was a visceral feeling for me as well. But what it brought up in images in my mind, I think Spirit was showing me right now. They were like, yeah, Leonka, you know how you really believe in the chi within a house, and you move certain things and you clear out certain rooms, and how it changes the way you feel. And I'm always showing my son how I'm like, see how your room feels? And and I was like, you're allowing the chi to move through here. When it was junky and messy, it feels different. Yeah. And I just realized that when she's removing those toxins from the body, when you are removing that gunk and grossness from within the body, the chi, the life force, the vibration, it has more place to live and expand within the body as well. It's also experiencing that energy, that life force as well. And wow, I just
I think that is what happens.
Yeah.
But I think it's way, way more than that as well.
That was just the images that
because I think what I was starting to, and what I notice about you are always in nature. If you look at your Instagram feed, you're one with nature. Like you consume, you take in nature, you are in the environment, get your vitamin D from the sun. It's actually really inspiring to watch how you then live your life. And when you sent me a voice message once and you're like, look, this is what I do. Every morning I have this hydration, I have this celery juice, I have my shakes. And then if I do screw up later, then everything is still okay, pretty much. And I thought I really appreciated that message when we got towards the end, because I felt like, I don't know, I just need a break. It just seemed like I just need to have a few cheats. And then I kept going around probably for 3 weeks going, don't tell Quentin. I'm going to have this one bite of this and this one bite of that. Don't tell Quentin. And I was a joke within my family. And I was like, I need a shirt that says don't tell Quentin. Be like his biggest fangirl, but there'll always be like this cheeky don't tell Quentin. But then we had a conversation after that, and it was very much, no. Why am I choosing that for myself? Clearly, there's something going on here that makes me feel unfree if I follow a quote protocol, as you put them. But I'm actually doing just the opposite. I'm doing self-harm in a way to a low degree. But it's like, why would I start choosing that? And I feel like working with you even got me to go, wow, there's something going on in my mind that's keeping me from really saying yes to all of this. And as soon as I got over that, I said that I will leave out that there is always a choice. If I'm in Europe and I want something, I can have that choice, but know that I'm clean and let's just keep my temple. And I really am insanely grateful for that, because And I think I told you, I said, I have zero cravings. In fact, if I crave anything, it's like a big old spud with some olive oil or something. Yeah.
Look, like I said, that's the beauty of healing. And by the way, you'll never be the same again, Jenna. You will never be able to get rid of this, what you just experienced and how you're looking at life now. And because you've got your body cleaned out and everything changes. It is the ultimate game changer in life. So you'll never be able. I've only seen a couple clients completely go off the rails and go back to what they were doing, like abandoning everything that they did to heal. These are people who healed, and then look, life gets in the way, emotional traumas, things like that. People get off track a bit, but very rarely does someone get so off track that they're not here, because life's just too good when you are eating this way. When you're caring for your body this way, life is too good. It's having anything less becomes unacceptable. And like I said, it's one of the beautiful things about it. It makes it look, it's hard because there's lots of good foods out there, good tasting foods that are going to fuel chronic illness in your body. Low vibrational foods that encourage toxins and pathogens and acidosis, but they are delicious. And it's not like I never have something that I shouldn't have either. The nice thing too now, Jenna, you are equipped now when you do make a mistake or have something, a little cheat meal, you have things to negate that poor decision.
Gotcha.
Things that you woke up, you had a good morning, you got all your healing stuff in, and you went out at night and did a little something that wasn't the best for you. The next morning, you're right back on it. You're on that. Look, it's not sustainable, but every once in a while, if you go out and have a cheat meal like that, at least you're doing everything around it to where it can help negate the negative effects of that poor decision and get to go enjoy something that's probably very tasty. So it does get tricky when it comes. Some clients, they just never go back. They don't want these bad foods ever again. And they take their healing further and further till they've reached levels of consciousness that are just incredible. I've played around with it a little bit, and I look to do it again, to take another healing push to go to deeper levels of healing that I haven't even been yet. It's challenging, but it's an amazing experience that it goes through.
It's interesting what the body can do, for sure.
Tiffany writes on the chat, she says, and I want to make this highlight this because I agree. And she wrote, it sounds like the narrative in recovery. When we're saying that, when she says that, because I thought the same exact thing, the narrative in recovery for me, I drank a lot and I didn't know anything different. All my friends did, my mom did. And when I entered into, and I'll say that I used AA because that's what my mom did. And I just had gone to the classes, but in AA, the whole reason why it works is because it doesn't say that you're going to quit drinking. It says you have a spiritual awakening. And Tiffany is highlighting the fact that this sounds like the spiritual awakening that people have when they remove those toxins from the body. My mindset now is I won't drink alcohol because why introduce it back to my body? I knew what poison it was for me. Now that's on the extreme level. But when we can look at these things that do poison the body, we start to remove them. We start to also have a more of a spiritual awakening. And that's the miracle. That's the blessing of it. And that's what it feels like when I hear you say that, when I hear you talk about it as well.
I'll tell you, God designed us to where we're supposed to be very happy, very vibrant, very clear-headed. We're always supposed to feel. That's how our Creator wants us to feel. He wants us to be high vibration, high consciousness, to be one with Him so you can close that gap. And by the way, I truly believe this. I think God loves when people embark on true natural healing journeys.
Oh, cool.
I see my clients rewarded all the time with things in life as they're as when someone tries to really go in and detox and bring and regenerate tissue in their body completely naturally. I think that scores them some good points in God's book, and blessings do come their way. I also see people become so empowered from healing, from living that toxin-free life. Things just connect to them. I've seen people quit their jobs with no backup plan just because the job hasn't served them. I've seen people leave relationships that
detox other things in their world.
I've seen people pick up and move cross country just because people would have no plan in place.
How funny.
But they heal so much, and they detoxified, and everything all of a sudden they're enlightened, they're empowered, and they can just do whatever they want to do, and it's going to work out for them. So I see that as well with people, and that only comes from true detoxification and regeneration of your body. It allows those other pathways, those spiritual pathways, as you talk about, to really open up, and blessings come, and life becomes the way that it's supposed to be, the way it was intended to be, which very few people ever get to experience that, because we're just walking around with bodies that are polluted with things that never, ever belonged in them, from pathogens.
From a lab.
Toxins. The world has never been this toxic. Humans have never carried around this type of toxin load. It starts at birth. What mom and dad passed down to us, their toxin loads, their troublemakers.
Sure.
All these foreign invaders, and then what we pick up just living life, what we put on our skin, what we eat, what we breathe in. It's a never ending barrage of troublemakers getting inside. So learning how to detoxify is the most critical thing any human can ever do if they want a good life. Learning how to truly detoxify your body, it gives you the life. Look, we're always going to be exposed to things. You want to learn how to detoxify, because the stuff's not stopping. We got stuff falling out of the sky.
Right.
From we all know what.
Yeah, we're getting like microplastics in our air. Right. We might as well at least use what we can to get it out.
Microplastic. And people just barely, and I want to point this out again, science has barely started to support, or let me say this, science is completely had known this. And it's just now that media is starting to report what science had known about some of the chemicals that had existed in our world for the last several decades. Since the 70s, they've had this information. I just saw an article today about the chemtrails, what that really is putting into our world. I was telling my husband the statistics on microplastics, and he's a very intelligent guy, and he follows all kinds of news. He was like, really? That much? Really? A day? A month? I'm like, yes, let me look it up again. I'll play it for you. I'll show you.
Size.
Exactly. And so I am and people just need more research. People just need more to pay attention more. But also, there's been a lot of money that has been poured into this world to keep a lot of that suppressed. So even
keep us sick, so we would have to be in the big farm.
That's a whole another thing.
I don't need to go into my advocacy around it, but the only reason the food industry is what it is because of money.
Yeah, look at any walk. Look, medical science, the medical establishment, along with big media, along with big food, for over 100 years, they've all been tied at the hip, and they've all been working for one common goal, and that was to get us sick, because especially now the target is children. They want children sick. That way you have a lifelong customer. And the combination, it's the food, it's the media not telling you what's going on with the food, it's the media not telling you what's going on with medical science. It's corruption on top of corruption.
Yes.
And the ultimate goal is just they want us not feeling well, so we rely on conventional and allopathic medicine. And there's also a lot of misinformation out there about what foods are healing. You wouldn't believe some of the stuff that people are eating that come to me and think that they're eating healing foods. And that's the media, that's just social media as well, and big food, advertisement, commercials, just promoting.
Right.
How long did they actually want you to be drinking cow milk?
I mean, we had growing up, and I think a lot of people still believe that.
They tell kids to do that every single doctor's appointment every single year.
Dairy is a nightmare for someone dealing with chronic illness. Dairy.
I got shit from my family for taking Ryzen off of it, but I knew he was getting inflammation every time he was drinking regular dairy from his bottle. And I said, I can't do this. And they're like, he's not going to grow.
Yeah.
And I got worried.
And let's talk about that, because isn't everyone a little allergic to gluten, a little allergic to dairy, a little allergic to corn and soy? Do you think or is it the way that we have it in America? Is it the way we have it because of the way it's processed? What are your thoughts on that?
Look, it all depends what pathogens someone got inside of them. Okay. Pathogens feed off certain foods that we eat. So we have bacteria and viruses, and they're feeding off certain things. One person might be able to eat gluten with no problem whatsoever. Another person has a gluten allergy. what's the difference? One person is dealing with either a viral or generally with gluten. If it's in the stomach, it's your celiac and stuff. Someone's dealing with a gluten intolerance because they're dealing with a bacteria that's inside of their gut that feeds off of that gluten. When the bacteria feeds off that gluten, it expels the gluten as a bacterial waste, which is very inflammatory. So the other person doesn't have that bacteria, so they can eat gluten without issue, really.
I gotcha.
It's never good for anyone because it feeds pathogens in someone's body. And then also to what you're saying, the way that they handle the wheat and the glutens and things in Europe and stuff, they have better practices, cleaner stuff. So gluten might not bother someone as much eating pasta in Italy as they would here. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't have gluten in it. It doesn't mean that gluten's not feeding pathogens as well in that way. Like I said, everyone's got a different collection of troublemakers in their body. And that's why some people are allergic to certain things and others aren't. It all depends what someone gets inside of them. Now, I have clients who come to me with gluten intolerance. By the end of the program, they could eat gluten without issue.
Wow.
So we completely debunked the whole gluten allergy.
I gotcha.
And by the way, if it's got Roundup on it and stuff, you can have another type of reaction to gluten if it's contaminated. Sure. But I have clients who can eat gluten after they're done the program and without issue because we simply go in and we knock out that bacteria or that virus that gluten was feeding in the first place. So there's nothing for that gluten to feed anymore. So there's no bacterial or viral waste, which means there's no inflammatory response. And do I say go eat all the gluten you want? I say no, you still don't want to do that because if there's a pathogen in your body, it will find a way to feed off some kind of gluten coming into it.
It was funny. One of my cheats that I was in the Don't Tell Quentin was my husband drinks non-alcoholic beer. So one night during some game or something, he had one and I had one. And the next day I felt like I was 5 pounds heavier, just like retaining water heavier. And I was like, this I won't tell Quentin and I won't do again. But now I've gotten to the point that I don't need to even the hashtag don't tell Quentin.
I love that.
Except for I knew that what you were going to say about the celery juice the other day. I got these celery juices in plastic bottles and I thought it was better to have some celery juice than to not juice this week because I just got incredibly busy. And then no, you'd be better off going back to just having a smoothie in the morning because of the microplastics. And I thought I knew that fresh juice was better than a bottled. And I knew that it was better than me just saying goodbye to it. And then you called me out on it. And I thought, no, you should have called me out on it. I know better.
I don't know better.
Okay. Maybe not everyone does.
No, I think it's important and why it works so well that you have been in her life, because that's the beauty of the program that you work with, because everyday decisions can make a difference and just a little more education. For example, if I make a smoothie, I make it using my little Ninja and it has portable cups that I can just take with me. I can make the smoothie, it smooths in there, pop the cup off. It's a plastic cup. Is that still harmful?
Look, when you learn for someone that doesn't know how to detoxify, look, when you know the art of detoxification, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. You minimize the best you can. Look, I get exposed to toxins. I don't get upset about it.
I gotcha.
I'm in Scottsdale down in the Phoenix area. The pollution here, the chemtrails, the air quality is horrendous. I go outside, I'm out hiking, playing pickleball, playing golf. I'm breathing in terrible air, toxins in the air. I don't let it bother me because I know, hey, there's nothing I can do about it.
Sure.
And I know how to get home and I know how to detox. I know how to get this stuff out of my body.
I gotcha.
So something like that, if someone who doesn't know how to detoxify, if they're sitting out drinking out of plastic all day, that's going to be more of a problem for them. Microplastics are building and having the time to get deeper in the tissue. When someone's on a good detoxification diet, they're pulling out toxins, something like a microplastic, as soon as it comes in. Gotcha. It's going right out. It doesn't have a chance to get deep into someone's tissue in that way because they're on a good diet and they're doing it every single day. So someone who doesn't know that, though, what you're getting exposed to is amplified. Because you're not working on it. Your detox pathways are down. You're not doing anything for yourself in that way. Yeah, it can be more detrimental when you're getting more exposures when you don't know the art of detoxification. But that's the ultimate game changer. Like I said, in this world we live in, it's just getting bad. It's going to get worse in terms of what we're going to be exposed to. Incredible amounts of environmental toxins, the food, the water, everything. It's hard because no matter what I do really well, you use the right deodorants, use the right body care products. You don't use this type of cleaning, you use this, that, and you can drive yourself crazy trying to keep your environment toxin free. It'll drive you crazy. It's impossible. It's literally impossible to do. If you want to go out to a restaurant and have a meal, you're going to be getting exposed to toxins. If you want to walk outside in this day and age, we still have fallout from nuclear disasters from near Hiroshima and Nagasaki. There's still stuff in the atmosphere.
Sure.
The radiation and things, and people get imaging and this, that, and the other, and the foods you get, you think you're eating good, clean. So it's just never ending with it. You can't get yourself all worked up about it and obsess about it. Just do the best you can. But most importantly, learn how to truly detoxify your body. So you can give yourself the advantage, the edge. You have the upper hand when you know how to do that. And you can worry less about things. And by the way, you keep your family healthier, keep your kids healthier. You understand that stuff. So, that's how I would do it. You just can't worry too much about it, especially if you're doing the right things with your diet.
Let's take a couple questions.
There is I think that one thing that Katie said was vitamin 3 is like almost an epidemic that we need to get that in our system.
I think she's D3 is what you really need to read the whole question. She says, milk has vitamin 2 and D2, which your body can't absorb. Well, everyone needs vitamin D3 supplements. Low vitamin D is an epidemic. Any thoughts on that?
I think vitamin D is one of the more overrated, overhyped supplements out there.
Okay.
For someone who gets ample sunlight. That is it. If you get yourself outside and you get some sun on you, generally that's enough. Yeah, some people who have really lousy processed food diets could use some supplementation. Jenna, if you don't need any vitamin D now, the diet you're eating, you go out and get some sun. The diet you're eating, it's the least of my worries. I don't even think about vitamin. Very few clients I have, which I would even recommend vitamin D to. But for people who don't eat well, it can be a problem in some people.
Sure.
People don't get enough sunlight, period.
Yeah. Like Fallon had even the exact number that we needed to be having for a good brain on our last show. So that's, I think, some of the conversation then comes off of some of the previous shows.
Yeah, I don't even worry about stuff like that.
Oh,
your body is already producing in its highest
leafy, it's in leafy greens. It's in a lot of regular fruits and vegetables. But how I was eating before is I might have had things like Simple Mills with an almond flour, but I wasn't actually eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. And now that's almost the only thing I eat. I rarely will even eat like a bite of a chicken breast. I really don't have a desire for it. And I really I really love my spuds and eggplants. And I do eat the occasional quinoa and rice mix. And with parsley now, because I was told to add that as the help with detox, and it adds some really good flavor too.
Yeah, when you're talking about vitamin levels and stuff, like if you're eating the way humans are supposed to eat, that's not a problem. Period.
That's what I was thinking. That exactly.
My mind doesn't work that way. If you're deficient in something, your diet stinks.
Right.
Fix your diet, and then if there's still a problem after you have a good diet, then we'll talk about it. But that never happens. Someone eats the right way, those things go away. That's easy.
I gotcha.
I don't even think about stuff like that.
KD said it had a good. She said the American diet is an epidemic too, and I completely agree.
That's an accurate statement. Yeah,
and that's what I'm like, Jenna, up against the industry, because I really truly feel that it's done to us purposefully, and it's been a slow grow. Back when they had regular old Kellogg's commercials back in the 70s and 80s, they were like, oh, we can make money selling fortified cereal. And then they started adding high fructose corn syrup to everything because it was cheaper and they could sell more. Yeah. Like I can go on and on for an hour and talk about that. But truly, I want you guys to really see the benefits of what can happen. Yeah. because what I learned about myself is there's got to be something going on in my head that makes me want to keep going back to those foods. There's got to be something that
addiction.
Yes, I am addicted to eating certain crappy foods. And that's usually called a Coca-Cola in my case. And I'm like, what is this pull? And I mean, I have sugars. You've allowed me dates and other things that I was like finding my way with figs and dates. I was finding my way through with getting some sweet in. So it wasn't even no bananas, no high glycemic index foods. Because I thought that I was going to have to eventually take out all the high glycemic index, and I have taken out a lot. But at the beginning, I needed some of those to compensate the craving.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. And when I stopped drinking like wine,
your body wants it.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I had brand new sugar cravings. I was like, oh, I wasn't a sweet tooth girl, but my body was a bit getting high on that.
Like looking for some sort of fulfillment.
Yeah.
That seems to be the thing.
Well, look, there's all those food chemicals are addicting.
They are.
They have designed food now, refined sugars, food chemicals, caffeine, all these things have addictive qualities. There's dopamine hits when these things come in. And there's actual chemical dependency that starts on these things when people really overdo it. So where you can become addicted to processed foods, sugars, different things like that, and caffeine. Yes. It happens all the time.
Yes.
So very tricky for some people because they fall in real food addiction. And it's just as bad as any other addiction.
I get you.
With that, just as bad. There's people out there who have horrendous food addiction and it's killing them. They have horrendous quality of life. So it's very sad, and that's exactly the way they want it, though. They've designed a lot of these, especially the processed foods, the junk they put in them are made to be addicting. They want people coming back to it.
Yeah.
That's just the very, very demonic people running the show for a long time.
And you know what we've learned, everyone here, especially here at Hustle, is that it's no longer a conspiracy if this stuff is coming true, y'all. If y'all see that we have uncovered so much and there's so much that's come out and actually been truth that we thought it was that's conspiracy, what you're saying. No, it's not. It's not. We've learned the hard way, people. Now let's just be with eyes wide open and approach life and use protocols like Quentin has put out here so that we can put our best foot forward, our best healthy foot forward.
Well,
that's my PSA for the day.
I want you to talk a little bit about the process because it's very cool the way you diagnosed me and you diagnosed us both and you told us exactly what was going on. And that was profound in its own right.
Yeah.
So I want you to talk a little bit about your process and figuring out the right detox for the right person, because all the plans are very customized. I've realized when I was like talking about celery juice all the time, you were like, celery juice isn't for everyone. I was like, oh, okay. Because it's like my constitution. It's right for that. And I think that's really important for people to know that one path isn't right for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, we didn't introduce celery juice for you until a couple months in. We got your body ready for that. Look, we talked about healing being personalized. It has to be. And I feel like that's the strongest part of what I do is making sure that things are really personalized. We always start, obviously, with a free phone call just to go over. I like to give people some information. A lot of people they're struggling. They're emotionally struggling. They've been chronically ill. The first thing I like to do, hop on a quick call, no charge, and just get them some information. Just get them some things that can make sense to them. Let them know that healing is possible. I don't care what someone comes to me with. Healing is possible in that way. So giving them some hope there, letting them know that I've been through it. I probably have experienced what they're experiencing in one way or another. So get someone some hope, get someone some belief, something that makes sense to them about why they've been struggling for so long. So that's always important. After that, we go right to the iridology analysis. As a lot of people watching probably know that by now.
But for those who don't,
we do have a
population. We've had some new folks to the community. So for those who might be new, can you just talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So iridology It's an amazing God-given gift that all humans have. Our irises are literally windows into our inside. So how it works is from the time someone is conceived, the state of their tissue on a cellular level, the state of their organs, their glands, their body systems, the state of that information regarding the state of that tissue is relayed through the autonomic nervous system and displayed in the iris of that person's eyes. Right iris shows the right side of the body, left iris shows the left side of the body.
Wow.
It is literally a roadmap to our systemic health. Hence, when I did your girl's iridology analysis, not knowing much about you, it was quite on point.
Yes.
I didn't know things. And I was like, we have a problem here. There's a weakness in this tissue here, weakness there. And things were very accurate. And I'm not like a wizard or anything. There's an intuitive nature to iridology, but mostly there is a map which corresponds to each iris with locations of different internal organs and glands and body systems throughout the iris. So it's a little map that corresponds, and I'm able to analyze that iris, characteristics, patterns, and colors, and determine with great accuracy what that individual's systemic health is like. So that gives me the upper hand. Right from the start, iridology allows us to see things that imaging, blood work, and even symptomology hasn't yet shown.
Yeah.
So that's also the beauty of it. Medical science misses a lot of things. Blood work misses things. Imaging misses things all the time. And then symptomology can be confusing. Sometimes symptomology is non-existent until all of a sudden you get hit with a cancer diagnosis. So iridology allows me to look in and see things that might be missed. Some stuff is known, like I'll go through, someone's sitting there, they have a chronic thyroid weakness, and I'll say that to them. I say, what's going on with thyroid? And I can surmise, I'll say to them, what autoimmune thyroid diagnosis did they hit you with? And they're like, oh, how'd you know that? They hit me with thyroid 2 years ago. Yeah. I'm like, well, you can tell based off the state of your thyroid that they probably pinned some kind of autoimmune or thyroid nodules, cysts, hyperthyroid cancer, even for more of the chronic degenerative thyroids I see. It's amazing in that way. I can't see cancers or diseases or things like that. I can see the state of someone's tissue and surmise what they might be dealing with and what kind of diagnosis they might have already received. As well as seeing some things that the person did not know about. Quick story. I had a young lady, 38, doing her eyes. She had a chronic heart weakness. So in the left eye shows the left side of the body. So the heart shows up over there. She had a chronic heart weakness. And I always try to be touchy with those things. I don't want it. It scares people. So I said to her, I said, your father or any family members have any heart disease, any heart attacks, anything like that? And she said, my dad and his brother, my uncle, died on the same day the year prior of heart attacks in their 60s. And she said to me, but my heart's fine. I went and had it checked out. Doctor said the heart looks good. There's no problems. And I said to her, I said, your heart's not fine. I said, we've got a chronic heart weakness here. It's glaring right at me. And because of that, we were able to be proactive. We were able to go in, get that heart tissue cleaned up, regenerate, detoxify it, watch that marking in that iris go away. And essentially what we did was heal our heart tissue up, and we took that, what was coming, off the table, or at least pushed it back a lot further.
Sure.
So that's the beauty of iridology. You can see things that, that medical science is missing.
Yeah.
Hence you have all these healthy guys all the time in their mid-50s, gym guys, drop dead of a heart attack.
Yeah.
He was healthy. I was like, well, he wasn't healthy. And if he had an iridology analysis 10 years prior, a skilled iridologist would have seen that heart weakness developing in him 10 years prior to his heart attack. Something that medical science missed for him, but never had symptoms. He thought he was fine. So that's the real beauty of iridology in that way. And that's why I always go to that. And that's a big reason I'm as successful as I am when it comes to healing people. Because with that, after the iridology analysis, we look at a healing program. And that iridology analysis, along with the health intake form and what they believe is lowering their quality of life the most in terms of what conditions and symptoms they want to go after first, we can design a program. We can pick special healing foods, special healing herbs, supplements, certain therapies and cleanses specific to what that person has going on and what they want to target first. So in your case, Jenna, we went right after brain fog.
Yes. We
got on the right foods. I put together a food list that covered brain fog and some of your other areas as well. Foods that had multi-use, special foods. And we made those the highlight of her diet. We started to make sure she was getting them in every day. Same thing with herbs. We had a couple of herbs that were great for what she had going on those things. And iridology allows me to do that, along with just knowing the health intake form, what someone's telling me, and knowing what causes symptoms, what pathogens and toxins are responsible for what's causing whatever illness, disease, or condition that person's body. So when you combine those things, that's why I have such quick healing in clients. That's why it's only a 4-month program generally. When you do things right, I tell people healing is this: when you have the right foods, the right herbs, the right supplements, the right cleanses, the right diet, and you do it at the right times, in the right combinations, and the right amounts. When you get everything right down to a T, that's when people get really fast healing. That's when you literally wake up by the day you're feeling better.
I know. I couldn't keep up.
That's a beautiful part of it. Yeah. You get fast healing. And like I said, I'm not looking for the alternative. What's bad with this now? Everyone wants that returning customer. They want the returning patients. I don't want that. I was a sick person my whole life. I had to be that. So my job is to get my clients better and get them out on their own. They're equipped with all the healing tools they need. They know how they've been healing. They can finish their healing. They can take their healing as far as they want. They know how to detoxify when they get exposed to something.
Sure.
They have the upper hand then, and they only took 4 months to do it. And they should never have to pay anyone ever again for the purposes of chronic illness or disease. They know what's happening.
Yeah, I would have to agree that the only thing I might have to go in for is perimenopausal things. I do feel like I still have a few lingering things around that specifically, which is the only reason that I bring it up for people our age. Sure. And I'm wondering if in another 3 months, if all of that's going to resolve, because I've definitely resolved some of the biggies like hair loss that was bothering me.
Let me explain perimenopause real quick.
We could do a whole show on perimenopause, and my brain just went off because there's not enough information about this, and the whole half of the population deals with it.
So I'm going to tell you some advanced information here about perimenopause. Okay. First of all, a lot of women think they're going into perimenopause and they're not. If you have adrenal gland weakness, if you've got adrenals that are messed up, it's going to foul up your blood work. It's going to foul up your hormones and blood work. And it's not going to give an accurate, people think that they're going into perimenopause and they're not. They're dealing with adrenal fatigue and adrenal weakness. Mm-hmm. That's half the people right there who think they're going into perimenopause or having doctors tell them you must be in perimenopause. By the way, perimenopause wasn't a thing until not too long ago. But it's a way for them to make more money, I believe, in terms of the hormone replacement therapies and this and that and stuff they do. Secondly, when true menopause, when that time in a woman's life is coming, when that's starting for them, the immune system, just like with all the other reproductive duties in her life, pregnancy, childbirth, menstrual cycle, all those reproductive duties require the attention of her immune system. The immune system sends varying levels of its energy and reserves to deal with those reproductive duties as it should. That's how women's bodies are designed, because childbirth is the way life happens. That's why we're all here. To focus, obviously. So your immune system deems that reproductive duties most important to prepare her body and then close out her body for that time in her life. So when that happens, and the immune system, which is always staying on top of pathogens and toxins and all these different parasites and acids in that woman's body, it can no longer do that as effectively as it was, because it's sending some of its energy and reserves to deal with the reproductive duties. Therefore, those pathogens, those toxins, those troublemakers are able to proliferate, advance. They peek their head out and they see the immune systems suppressed, not quite the strength that it was, and they have a flare-up of symptoms. Could be brain fog, could be fatigue, could be migraines, could be insomnia, could be this, that, or the other. Depends what pathogens they have. Depends what toxins they have. All perimenopause does is show a woman what troublemaker she's dealing with in her body. Okay. And where she has weaknesses in her glands, if there's weakness, if she's got pathogens and toxins in her ovaries, if they're in the adrenals, she's going to have weaknesses in those areas, and they're going to be exposed by symptoms, an upkick in symptoms. Jenna, it's more important for you now than ever, if you believe this is happening, be on that diet solid, because you need to support your immune system even more, because it can't be doing everything it needs to be doing because it's got to deal with something else that God designed it to deal with.
That's true.
Yes.
In that way. But you don't want to be doing bad foods right now. You don't want to be pathogens and bringing more toxins in. Everything you want to be doing now, you want to negate the effects, what might be had. You don't want to let those troublemakers get out of control because your immune system is busy dealing with reproductive duties. The same can be said for the menstrual cycle. The same can be said for pregnancy. True. My God, you want to be on a really good detoxification diet when you're pregnant because your immune system is busy for 9 months.
Yes.
And it really called to action during childbirth. Hence, we have our post-childbirth depressions and different things.
Yes.
Well, that is the immune system was so taken away for so long. All their troublemakers got to advance from pregnancy. And then 90% of the immune system's reserve and energy goes to childbirth during that time. Very hard. All your pathogens get a chance to really fly out of control during childbirth. The adrenals are pumping, and women feel like they got hit by a truck after they gave birth. But that's what happens when your pathogens and toxins have a chance to just do whatever they want to do and proliferate while you're going through those reproductive duties in your life. So I hope that helps some women understand what symptoms all that times in your life do is show the woman what she's dealing with internally in terms of what things don't belong there, what troublemakers are there.
Yeah. I think it really does. This question's really come up for me privately. What do you say to people who are afraid to even maybe do the iridology or give you a call because they don't trust themselves?
They don't trust themselves in the ability to do a protocol, to follow, change how they eat.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a little bit of what I was afraid of. I was like, I don't want to book. I don't want to book. I don't want to. It's like, I don't want to change.
Yeah, you're telling the truth on your phone. So I did that iridology before she did, and we had already prepaid for it. And I was like, there's one there for you because we've already prepaid. And she was like, hey, I'll do that later. And she knew she wanted to, but she kept
pushing it off.
Really pushing it off.
Oh, it was before Christmas too. But that's no excuse, to be honest. Not anymore. I could have totally done this all through Christmas.
Here's the other thing, and I'm just going to say this out loud because I think that it's important for other people to, because I still haven't done the detox, but I think it's important for other people to address things as the subconscious tries to play tricks on us. We don't know why she was putting it off. I know, and I don't know why I'm putting off actually doing the detox. I do, and every time we speak with you, I know that it's something I want to do. but I do think that there's something like about the unconscious that wants to try to keep us trapped or keeping us the same. And so then we make up all these excuses, right? Then we're scared to make that first phone call, that first appointment that could change our entire lives, that makes everything better. What do you say to those folks?
First of all, look, a lot of it depends how bad someone's suffering.
True.
You're suffering enough.
That,
sometimes everyone's got a different rock bottom. And I'm not saying that there are people who don't start a healing journey before they hit rock bottom, because there are lots of them.
Yeah.
But for some people, rock bottom looks different. And some people really just have to be at that.
Me with drinking.
For them to actually embark on a healing journey and want to change. They need to. I suffered my whole life. Not until 32, 33 did I actually hit like rock bottom, where I was just like, I can't do this anymore.
Right.
This is not going to end well if I don't do something.
Yeah.
So aspect of it, the rock bottom aspect of it. Some people just aren't there yet.
And I like to preface it.
And I don't feel like I was at rock bottom, but I do know that I had some things that were driving me crazy. And I wanted to say, it was almost like I wanted to see if this actually was going to change it.
Sure.
It was like I wanted to prove it wrong. Not necessarily. I really wanted it to be right, but I thought it might not work for a little bit.
Going, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
And I thought that I wouldn't make it.
So he
was like a drill sergeant, and then made me feel like everything was poison. So I started to go, wow, looking it up on Google, maybe he is.
And that it wasn't necessarily he just gave you information you probably never looked at.
Yes, especially on the herbs.
And she's a nutritionist, y'all.
I'm an old nutritionist though. I was a nutritionist in the 90s.
Let me tell you, new nutritionists don't know any better.
I was gonna say,
okay.
You're probably more knowledgeable than new nutritionists.
Okay, fair enough. Yes.
These conventionally trained nutritionists know nothing about how to detoxify and heal a body. Nonetheless, back to what you were saying, there's another thing here that some people, it doesn't have to be rock bottom, but everyone has a quality of life that they're willing to accept.
Yeah.
And some people just value a higher quality of life. It's innately built into them. But also, too, when sometimes people get a lot of toxins and things in their brain, the flow of energy is compromised. It becomes harder to make a decision to heal naturally just because you've got brain fog, you feel cloudy, you're depressed, you've had emotional traumas in your life. There's all those outside factors which can make or break someone when it comes to actually embarking on a healing journey. By the way, a lot of people have embarked on healing journeys, but they simply got bad doctors, bad healers, bad information, and it scared them away from healing. They feel like they've tried everything. And they feel nothing can help their body. And that's an indictment on the alternative, obviously the allopathic medicine world. We know they can't get anyone better from anything, but that's an indictment on the alternative medicine world. Your functional doctors, your holistic doctors, your naturopaths, these doctors now have all sold out. Most of them have, and they're just in it for the long-term clients. They want the people returning. And plus, a lot of them don't have the right information yet either. So people are left not to heal. Some people have bad experiences with their healing too, to where they go through dangerous detoxes and they feel horrendous and it scares them away from healing ever again.
Exactly.
Well, that was a little bit of mine. I tried things and did the clay stuff and everything. And
And the last thing I'll say is that this is sad, but some people aren't meant to heal. On that, it's just not in the cards for some people. It's not their destiny. I think I'm a believer that there's a lot of demonic entities in this world, which are in a lot of people. A lot of people are dealing with spiritual demons and things that, and let me tell you, I think the demonic forces in this world like people chronically ill.
They
like us to not be well. Hence, I feel like a lot of people who run the show with Big Pharma, the medical establishment, I think there are a lot of demonic people.
Yes. So and they're eating exactly what they're talking about. Yes.
There's a lot of evilness in this world.
Yes.
And in these demonic things in people, sometimes people are just destined for suffering. I have family members who are there. They're great people. And it's just not for them, though. Healing is not in the cards for them. And they're meant to suffer until their last breath. And that's one of the hardest pills I had. That's one of the hardest pills I had to swallow. Because sometimes it's the people you love.
I know.
Doing what I do. Imagine me, big family. Imagine I have people in my family who are chronically ill, dealing with things, and I have to watch it. I had to learn. You can't change people. You can't force people to heal.
No.
You can't force people to be enlightened that way and think outside the box of conventional medicine. Some people are locked in that. So very hard pill for me to swallow as a healing coach. Seeing people I love suffer, being able to help them, I can help them. But they don't want the help. They can't accept the help, and therefore they suffer and I have to watch. Very hard place. Even when Jenna, you're going to see that now. You're going to see people differently now. You're going to see people you love differently now as they deal with chronic illness, because you're going to know they have a way out. They just don't know that yet. They don't know what to do. They don't have the right information, and you're going to want to tell them and show them, which is great. But you've already done the best thing you could possibly do. Just let them watch you.
Yeah, no, in no way is it my place to judge.
We don't judge on this show either.
I'm not going to judge what people do because I used to be that person. And I thought I still was until the last 4 months.
I think that's what makes us so welcoming in the show and the people that come in our community is because we don't judge. We know we've all been there in some way, shape, or form. We're still going through it all.
And sometimes you have so much going on in your life that the last thing you want to do is go figure out fruits and vegetables at the grocery store. I've been in that situation, which is, and I'll even have moments that I will be like, Kim, do I have time to juice this morning? But now I feel like that's what, do you have time to die? Yes.
I don't.
Do I have time to be sick? No. I think it's worth taking the extra time to figure out good recipes and meals. And I'm going to start sharing more of that on my social media accounts, just as I come up with things and that are truly good, like a good salad dressing that isn't just olive oil and a little bit of cranberry
I have
juice.
to tell you, when you're talking about how it permeates through the family, I walked in the other morning, like for Summit, I had a Red Bull in my hand, not sporting it, right? Like it just kind of sat down. She goes, can I get you a bloom to try? I just want you to try it. Will you not drink that one and drink this one instead? And I was like, this is really good. She was already switching me out. Like,
yeah.
Oh,
and that unconsciously are things that I don't think of on the regular, that working with you has just changed my life in that way, because I get it through a little bit and her family is being improved by it. These are the things that the side effects that can be benefit of people finally getting healthy and finally learning the truth and working with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say one more thing here. I want people to know, and I want you to know, Bianca, that what Jenna is talking about now and things I have her doing, I don't want people to think that's what they're going to have to be doing.
No.
But nobody even needs to be drinking Red Bull, in my opinion.
Her healing looks different from every one of my clients' healing. What's working for her might not be working for someone else. So things she's talking about, I don't want someone to think that's exactly what they're going to be doing too, exactly what you did, because that's not the case. Everyone has their own preferences, their own life, their own responsibilities, their own sets of troublemakers in their body, which require different needs and things of that nature. So people, I do want to remember, it is personalized. I don't want
completely
one size fits all in this way. Even with you, I don't know that we'd have you doing a lot of things that Jenna has been doing. I don't know that. Get into it. By the way, when you're healing too, you have to be flexible. I'm flexible. I'm like, I have to be able to troubleshoot. Something doesn't work for a client, I have to be able to change that and keep them healing. Yeah, and that's really important as a healing. Well, and I've got to be able to go on the fly here when something's not working for someone, to keep them healing, to keep them headed in the right direction.
Well, let me just tell you, I went and got my annual blood done during this detox. And I'm like, dude, Quentin, my mineral calcium is really high, potassium and calcium. And I was like, what should I do? And at the time I was also going through detox symptoms, which I think you put 1 and 2 together, that some of that detox symptoms is just because your body is not yet flushed it all out. Sure. To the extent that after you pointed it out, I told the nurse I'm doing this really intense diet change, and it is called a detox. Could that have anything to do? And she's, at least you have validation that your detox is working. And I thought that was just really freaking cool. When you came back and you were like, oh, remember that time when you weren't feeling that great? That might be because, these. Well,
that's actually,
that was interesting.
First off, when you're in detox, blood work's not accurate.
Yes. Yeah. I figured that out. And it scared me for a minute, but then I figured that out. I did go back and everything was fine.
Also, Jenna, I explained to you about the dangers of blood draw and how you had an influx of detox symptoms post blood draw.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
I tell people, and I spoke to Jen, I should have told her sooner, but I didn't know you were going to get blood work.
I just thought I had my annual. It's not going to be a big deal.
Blood draw is a way that they keep people sick. Way too much blood, way too often. So if you would have told me that, I would have had a special protocol for you for the week prior to your blood draw and the week after, and we would have not allowed them to take more than maybe 1.5 to 2 vials of blood.
I see.
They take too much blood. That's your immune system going out. So blood draw is a way that the medical establishment keeps people chronically ill. People don't want to hear that because, by the way, what do they do with a really chronically ill person who's seen lots of different doctors and specialists?
They keep taking their blood.
Nonstop, every 2 months. This doctor needs their own blood. This doctor wants more blood. They're pulling 6 vials here, 4 vials there, 7 vials there. They keep the person chronically ill because they never stop stripping them of their immune system, which is in their blood. The way that the medical establishment.
What about
A lot of that blood goes in the trash can, or it goes in people's bodies. That's another time, though.
But I know we're running long here, but I did want, I wanted to ask real quick about giving blood, though.
Giving plasma.
Or giving plasma.
They're two different things. Giving blood is just the blood donation. Giving plasma is like where they take out the blood, they put it back with whatever. I've done it before, and it's like they shake out. I guess they take your plasma, really.
It's called. I had $20,000 worth of it done when I was trying to heal from chronic illness. It's called PRP, platelet-rich plasma, where they actually take the blood out, they spin it in a centrifuge machine, and separate your plasma from your blood. Is that what you're referring to?
This is like to give to. It's like a donation. It's a huge moneymaker. Most people don't get it done because they need money.
Yeah,
and they don't.
If you're a person, and if you're a person in good health, like really good health, like you've got nothing going on, you could probably give something. If you have any type of symptoms, if you've got any type of chronic illness going on, keep your blood, keep your plasma, keep it all.
Okay.
Even the act of the needle going in, to the arm makes the adrenals pump out adrenaline in that way.
True.
Keep your blood. I get blood work once every 3 years. That's it. I go in and I am really anal about how much blood they're pulling from me. I don't know. I make them come back in a week if they need another vial or two. I've had them come back 3 consecutive weeks because I won't give a lot of blood in one pull. And by the way, they get tired of me and they end up never taking all the blood they say they need anyway because they go, we have enough. I was like, I told you you'd have enough. Like you were lying to me. You didn't need that much blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell people if you're chronically ill, keep your blood.
Okay.
If you go for blood work once annually, there should be special protocols that you do before and after, and you should never allow them. A woman under 150 pounds should be given no more than 2 vials of blood.
Okay.
At one sitting.
Okay. I did not know that because my mom always said it's so good to give blood, and we've got the type of O negative blood to give to babies, so I did it for many years.
Nightmare. That was what medical science wanted you to believe in that way. That's what they told our 50s and 60s. Oh, give your blood. Come and give vials and vials of blood. Give your blood. It's good for you. It cleans your body. That's nonsense. You need that blood more than anything because your immune system's contained in it. Your blood reboots, but your immune system takes much longer to reboot after a blood draw.
Okay. That's okay. Got it.
Yes.
So if you guys are interested, we do have a special offer that Quentin has given us half off his Iridology analysis. Now, of course, if you are on the fence here, he's opened it up so that you can have a conversation with him before. But if you are ready, here's a little bit about that special offer. Quentin, do you want to go through this real quick?
Yeah, basically, just we need to get you in here and have a look at your eyes. If I don't need to be in person to do them, I simply send you directions on how to take an iris photo. Send you over the health intake form. You get me some iris photos, send them over. I analyze them, and we schedule a call where we sit down and you can take notes. You can record the conversation, and we do your iridology now. It's an iridology analysis consult. It's an in-depth health consult, basically where you get your answers. You're gonna leave the iridology analysis knowing how things came to be in your body, how things are working, why you haven't been feeling well, what troublemakers are in there that don't belong there, and you're gonna have a much higher belief that you could actually heal from what you have going on, because you have to have the right information to heal, and this is the best way to do it, I'd say.
Well, remember you can find, he tends to find stuff that can be missed.
Yeah.
With lots of people don't have symptoms, lots of people, the doctors aren't finding it, then you have to go for another imaging. He has this there's the map.
Cool. Oops.
Both sides, you can get the.
Isn't it fascinating, y'all?
Chart there.
Yeah. It was fascinating because most of the things that I thought I had, he caught right away with it. And then the things that, like he told me I had a little left lung weakness. And I said, is that something that I need to go get a chest x-ray on or anything? He's, no, let's do the detox and see where we're at. And it should probably clear up. And we'll probably do that shortly within a month or so.
Yeah, we definitely need some new iris photos from you.
Yeah.
You go get your iris and see if we have some change happening in there.
Yeah. I want you guys to know we're careful on who we bring on the show, by the way. And that's true about the products we recommend and bring on the show. They're tried, they're true. We at least know something about them.
To the best of our ability.
We know their testimonials. This is not somebody just off the street that says, I can help you with this. No. And then so much that I even said, I'm in for 4 months. And after 4 months, I might be out, but I'm in for now.
And you made her top, 5.
And you made my top 5 list.
The minute changed your life. I love that so much.
Including my father and my husband.
I'm incredibly honored.
Oh,
honestly, you did all the work, though.
I'm grateful because you would check in on me when I wasn't feeling well and didn't want to tell you I wasn't feeling well. And I knew that it was the detox usually. And I think that encouragement of you just constantly texting me and then giving me voice memos when I was feeling like meh, or when I said finally came clean on doing my couple cheats, which I did really well for a full 3 months. And then in that 4th month at the beginning, I was just like, I just need some change. And then I realized that even those little bites of things were actually making me feel icky for a night, or the one alcohol-free beer. It was like,
Quentin, is that the way you would operate with clients, where you're doing the text messaging, the messaging?
Yes, that's what Jenna hired me for. She hired a healing coach.
Yes.
Not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I don't want to be a doctor. Jenna had full access to me for the duration of the program.
That makes sense.
Which not just she has access, but I'm always checking in with my clients. I'm always.
Yeah. I just want people to know that.
Yeah, it's like a real personal relationship.
I love that.
I basically become a friend to my client, and I'm just like a friend that just teaches you how to heal. That's essentially what it is. Because that's what I lacked when I was trying to heal. I didn't have that person. And I said, when I started my business, I said, I want to be someone that I wish I had when I was spending 5 years trying to heal in the alternative world. Mm-hmm. So I designed my business that way, to where I wanted my clients to have full access. If they have a question, they can text me, they can shoot me an email, they can shoot me a call. I'm always going to be there for them. I want them to feel like they're not alone. That's very big with healing. You can't feel like you're alone. Some of these doctors, and you can't get a hold of them. You're trying to schedule appointments. That's no way to heal.
They don't care.
You need someone in your corner.
Yes, you do.
First of all, someone like myself who's been through it. I mean, I know what brain fog's like. I had severe brain fog. So I can relate to so many of these different things. I had cold hands and feet. I had nerve pain in my legs. All things that you dealt with, Jenna. So I could relate. I could put myself in my client's shoes. I can really put myself in their shoes, and I can become someone that I think would be very helpful to them in getting healed up. That's a part of the business that's very unique. Can't find that. I can't find anyone else who who allows their clients to have full access in that way. But I enjoy every second of it. It's my passion. I love helping people in that way. And Bianca, it's going to be that time for you.
I hear you. I know. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. I promise.
I've been waiting for that call.
I promise. I'm coming.
And I have to thank Lianka for forcing me to even take the initial step, because she's like,
do it.
It's already paid for.
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then I'm like, I'm all in. And it was just so weird, because I even got on the phone and I was like, I'm not. I'm like, just say no. Just say no. And then by the end of the conversation, I just felt like I've gotten so much information here. If he truly does have my back, not only could this help my life, but it could help the audience's life too.
That's true.
I did it. I sacrificed myself for all of you guys.
For the health community.
But I truly felt that way. I was like, I don't really know what it's like to detox. And I didn't even want to look at it or look at how to do it on my own. It just was not a thing. It's just daunting.
Everyone needs a good coach. You need a detox coach to heal. You need a healing coach.
Yes.
And Jenna, I'm sure you'd agree with this. Is not what you just went through, is it not one of the most beautiful, amazing things you've ever done in your life?
Yeah, I think every single time we even go out to eat at True Foods or something, my husband can't believe that I'm still eating this way. And I said, I don't think that I could eat any better. I don't think you could. And I love that my husband says that about me. Yeah.
When you get that taste of life, and you're tasting it free of junk in your body. You really, it is a game changer.
You changed your mind. You changed your world.
Yes.
Like I said, it's the most impactful, at the same time, beautiful thing that someone can do for themselves. It's a truly personal journey, by the way. Yeah. It's just you and your healing. Like no one else can do it for you. No one else can make it happen for you. You have to do it. So it also makes people stronger. Like it shows people what they're made of, and it forces people to really step up their game, see what they're made of.
It's a personal development journey.
By the way, that's a very positive thing. It's good to push yourselves in ways like that.
Yeah,
I think God really likes that when people do that.
Yeah, I know that.
He likes when people put themselves to it and say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it naturally. Even using his foods, his herbs. In that way.
Yeah. My whole heart believes that for sure.
Absolutely. You guys, it's $150 and you can get a complete diagnosis and just see if this is right for you. I will be supporting you along the way, as well as Quentin, just as a little side person. I truly feel like this is great for anybody, especially if you want to go on a real personal development journey, because you deal with like your mind demons when you're like, no, don't have that cookie. And you have to deal with all of that. And I feel like it makes us stronger.
Yeah. One more thing. People want to do all these different things to help themselves heal. There's all these trendy therapies.
No, just do it to me.
People exercise. They go to the chiropractor. They do meditation. Right. They do this technique, this cold plunge.
Yeah.
The root, the base for any true healing journey starts with what you're fueling your body with. Everything else just works around that. I tell people true healing is literally 95% diet, 5% everything else. Yeah. You have to have the basis and learn how to detoxify. That way your vessel is clean for the other therapies and treatments so they can work better.
I completely agree with you. And in fact, something else came in my mind.
With what you're putting in your body. That should be if you're doing all these other things, but your diet's not right, you're going to get limited benefit. You know, you're never going to get the healing you want because you ain't fueling your vessel the right way. You're not learning how to get it cleaned out and strengthen. I tell clients, clean and strengthen, detoxify and regenerate, clean and strengthen. I hammer it into their heads, cellular cleaning and strengthening and regeneration. Mm-hmm. That's where true healing starts. Everything else just is nice. It's great. But
it's like pounding the outside of the house when the inside really needs the cleaning and the organizing. And so you're like, oh, look at my great house.
People spend so much money on these things. I'm like, just eat better.
Right. Start from the healing and strengthening.
It's a little more than just eating better. For me, it was.
To your Pilates class with the Starbucks coffee. I can't wrap my head around it.
And then they put a selfie of it. Happy.
Oh my God, that's so me.
Like you're headed to the gym with an energy drink.
With a Red Bull. You had to podcast with a Red Bull.
A spiritual podcast.
I can't believe that you did that. In a way.
People do whatever they do.
I don't even think about it as a thing. I'm like,
see, that's the problem. People don't even think about it as a thing. That's why we're bringing it to you all.
You don't know that a Red Bull is bad for you.
I do know that. I think it's better than booze.
But it's got all these vitamins in it.
I don't even think about it like that. I just know it's got like.
I think it's much better.
I gotcha. I'm hearing you now.
Yeah.
I'm hearing you now.
Look, I'm very black and white. Like things are.
I like that about you too. I feel like for what you do, you need somebody that's like militant and black and white. To be honest, yeah. We don't need anybody soft.
And I don't need anybody to keep me in the gray either. Mm-hmm. I need to know. Like I don't know those things.
No,
there is hanging out in the gray. I'm going to tell you how it is.
Yeah, straight up.
Sometimes I have to be tough with I'm not a drill sergeant. I don't think that. I think I can be tough though when I have to be tough.
I don't want you scaring people away like that.
No, he's not. And in fact, the things that I'm like, is nutritional yeast okay? Because it looks okay on the back of the packaging. And then he's no. And then I'm like, please. And he's a little bit, it's okay if you're just using it as seasoning.
Like I said, I tell people, I'm like, I can't change the rules of healing. I can't change what fuels chronic illness and what fights it. It just is what it is. I wish nutritional yeast was healing. It's just not.
It's just a seasoning. That's all it is. Okay.
I think y'all are going to be in for a real ride whenever I come back and report what my journey is going to be like. Cause I think you already had that nutritional background.
Right. The very first protocol, he's look at this, read it, memorize it. And it really is some education, even for me, who does know how to really read a label. And I think that there's probably some education of like, how do you even read a label? Is it okay that it says natural flavorings? Like, they're natural. People think that. And we're like, and I was already like, no.
I'm not like that at all.
Color, no.
I'm like a regular person off the street. Like a regular
She really is. She was just raised that way. And I've been trying to get in a little. And then she's whatever.
That I'm not so concerned about nutrition facts. I'm concerned about the ingredient list.
Gotcha.
And my clients they learn how to read the ingredient. By the way, if you have something that has more than 2 lines of ingredients, you can just put it back on the shelf anyway. You know it's going to have generally something in it that's not going to help you heal, that's going to hurt you.
Gotcha.
Healing is simplistic.
I think my husband needs to do it.
You really need to simplify it. The healing should not be confusing. How you should eat should not be confusing. Things should be simple. That's how you heal. When you get things simple and basic in that way. So big, long ingredient lists, no healing in that. I don't even have to look at it. I don't have to read it.
Yeah.
Just know that it ain't going to get you better.
Idea popped in my head. It's Mother's Day is a great way to ask for a gift. You can ask your loved one for a gift card and use it for something that's beneficial in iridology. And then Father's Day is coming up. And I know what my husband's getting. He's getting the iridology.
Yeah, I think so.
With Quentin, because I think it's important
for him.
And healthy. And he's into that kind of stuff. Like, it's not, he's into learning about himself, and he's open to at least knowing some more facts. I just know that we've been swimming around blind for a very long time.
Yeah.
Maybe a good time for you and him to heal together.
I think so. I think so.
I love seeing partners heal together.
Yeah.
I offer financial incentive for that too. When 2 people.
Okay.
I love that. It makes healing easier. You can have someone to bounce things off of and talk about your healing. So it's a great thing for especially a married couple to do, or any partners in that way. And I should mention, I'm going to be doing, get your iridology now soon, because I'm going to be doing a little special here for Mother's Day.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure yet, but I want to do special for the moms out there, which are struggling more than anyone, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm going to be doing something for Mother's Day. That's a nice offer to help some moms get healing.
I love that.
Fabulous.
I know. You heal the moms, you change the world. They usually do lead the family in what they do.
So goes mom, so goes the family. I've seen it time and time again. When mom's health isn't good, the whole family suffers.
It's true.
Yeah.
And when mom's health is really good, the whole family thrives.
Hey, that's true. That is true.
It really, you would never think that way, but mom is the root. Dad may lead and do things, but mom is the root there, and her health needs to be cared for. I see these moms out there who they just sacrifice and they just stay chronically ill, and they do everything for their kids and everything for everyone else. And it's not a recipe for a good, strong, happy family. Mom has to take, the kids are happier when mom's happy and healthy. I try to tell that to moms. I'm not a mom, so I get what they're thinking. Like, I just do everything for my kids, but man, I see when these moms get happy and healthy, the whole family thrives. Everyone gets better.
I bet. Yeah. I really bet.
It's a stigma almost that you got to give everything. Your kids and parents just suffer. The parents just take less.
Yeah, that's old school.
Deal with things. Mom and dad, especially mom, need to be healthy.
Absolutely.
And kids' lives naturally becomes better. They become better parents, better people, better role models. Kids like when their mom and dad feel good. They can tell when mom and dad aren't feeling well. I went through my whole life, and it's tough on a kid knowing that mom doesn't always feel well.
That's true.
It's impossible to hide too from these kids. They know.
I know. They know. Oh, they know.
They know when mom's not feeling well, and they want you to feel well.
I think that we'll have other conversations in the future. I think that's about a wrap. Thank you so much, Quentin.
Thank you, Quentin.
Love you for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Just a couple announcements, you guys. We are going to be doing some Jonathan Lianco woo gossip on our live page. We're not going to share it with the list, so only the people that are actually here and have watched to this point know to go to our live page to see our Lianca and Jonathan woo gossip. We're just going to see how it goes and who might be interested, but we're just going to, there's things that I wanted to update Lianca on and she wants to update me on, and we want to probably bring it to the show, maybe not. But if you're looking for that, we're now going to do a mini after show.
Yay!
It'll just sit there on the live page and we're just going to see if people are interested. So I want you to know today I'm talking about my Bruce Springsteen experience that I went to on Sunday.
And just a couple of other announcements. We just want to remind you to like and subscribe if you're joining us on YouTube. We found that 67% of people who watch our videos don't subscribe, and it would really help us to grow this community. If you feel inspired, you can share this video with other people. You can always do that on YouTube, or you can go to our live page and share from there. And that's at howthustle.com/live. And if they want to get the newsletter, how do they do that?
If you'd like to get the newsletter, you go to howthustle.com/unlock.
Awesome.
Howthustle.com/unlock. And you'll get the entire season. You can also get on our text messages so that you can get notifications before the show too.
So today you wanted to talk to us a little bit about mouth tape.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was saying that some of the things with working with Quentin was I got better sleep, but I often sleep on my back for reasons that y'all know. I have this weird nerve that's going on in my back. And so I sleep on my back so that my legs can rest in a certain way.
Okay.
But because I sleep on my back, I often have an open mouth. And I'll wake up with an insane dry mouth. And so I started to follow this girl called the Skinny Confidential, and I love her products. I've shared the ice roller with you.
We love it.
And I decided I'm going to dive into her mouth tape, and it comes in this hot little container. And you just grab one out a night and you literally shut yourself shut. Now, what's great is it has a little slit here, so you actually can breathe and not panic. And it also fits the exact spot that my water bottle requires.
Okay.
So if you do get thirsty in the middle of the night and you just want a little drink, you actually can drink too, which is why I actually love her brand better than some of the other brands.
Right.
But I do recommend it. I just really was terrified the first night, and I was like, should I tell somebody that I'm using mouth tape just in case and sudden death? But no, and there was never a time when I wasn't. You just change how you breathe. It also helps your jawline.
That's why
which I would like to keep enhancing as I get older. But mostly I'm doing it so that I stay hydrated and don't wake up with cotton mouth in the morning or drool all over myself.
Yeah, and there's other benefits for using mouth tape as well.
Oh my gosh.
Scientific benefits as well.
It's good for your teeth.
Okay.
Because if your mouth does dry out, you start to get more cavities and tooth decay.
Also, I know that Skinny Confidential makes it a big point to only put the highest grade ingredients into their manufacturing. The whole process is clean. And so when you're looking at buying mouth tape of all things from somewhere that has to ship in from maybe other countries, or that is maybe not manufactured with the highest intent at heart, you might want to reconsider that. Yeah, you can get them super cheap, but you're also just had a conversation about toxins.
Yeah.
And so you risk the toxins that might be with the lower quality products like that.
That's
so
great.
It's making me look in my makeup bag and in my medicine cabinet for those cheapy places that I keep buying not the best quality products. So I love that you're always recommending this stuff for us.
Better things.
Yeah.
Your hair, I use a herbal essence only.
Okay.
And it's not expensive. You can get it at the grocery store, but there's a site called EWG where you can look for the environmentally, I think it's something I'll have to
sustainable, better for the quality of the earth.
Better for your body.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think maybe it is better for the earth too, but that will give you more clearer information about that. All I know is at one point I was like looking for the best skincare foundation, lotions. I only wanted mineral-based sunscreen. I also use Skinny Confidentials. They have a little caffeinated sunscreen that I use as well. So I really recommend her brands. We'll post links in the YouTube caption. They'll eventually be around on the website, but of course they'll be in the newsletter. And I just feel like it's important for us to start sharing these things with you guys.
Well, it's the whole reason why we wanted to name the show How It Hustle, and how it really came from the idea of we wanted brands, products, services, ideas that were for the future. So it's really like today's How and Hustle. And how is no longer just, and I'm going to say this for the recording, okay?
Okay, sure.
How hustle really means, and it's redefined. It's how is no longer just how for luxury's sake, for profit. Ooh, today's how, right? It's not about couture. It is still how, but what's really how? What's really couture is products, services, brands, ideas that are better for our earth, better for ourselves, better for our communities, our bodies, our children. And that's what's how. Even if you're paying a little bit more of a premium, it's still what's going to make us be here on earth and new earth for longer. And hustle is all about not Dolly Parton's old 9-to-5 grind, right? Hustle is sorry, Dolly, we love you. We know you were
She's thinking too.
Yeah. Today's hustle is a dance. It has its own inertia. It moves around the world because it's for the betterment of each other. And it's done through collaboration that are also with wonderful people like Quentin, like the people we've had on the summit, because it is for the betterment of our earth and each other and our bodies and our minds. So that is really where we came with this concept. So being able to recommend products that we obsess about is exciting because I know I always want to look for I want to be able to provide my family with the best. And that always doesn't just mean what's out in the old way, the old ways. So it's a paradigm shift. And I'm really excited about us being able to bring this to our community.
I'm crazy about it. And I'm also a researcher, which is actually in my stars from a recent astrologist. Right. You're an obsessive researcher. And I was like, yes, I am, especially when it comes to my personal stuff.
That was Jane DeForest.
Oh, was that Jane? Yeah.
Yeah. And you could see her.
We just had her on, and I was like, interesting, because I'm like, we're looking to bring in some brands to recommend. And I'm like, no, I just want to look at things, make sure they're really recommendable for you guys.
Absolutely.
I want the seal of How to Hustle recommended on it or something.
Yeah. And so again, just wanted to make sure that we're wrapping our announcements. We always benefit women and youth related causes. Right now we're benefiting riseandup.org. And you can find out more information about Rise and Up. It's started by children. They take in laptops and tablets, plus cash donations to repair those to give out to other people in need for use in wellness and education. Any other announcements so we could wrap?
Nope, I think that's good. We want to do a little after show where we'll talk about Bruce.
All righty.
Springsteen.
That's right. With that, we're How It Hustle,
reminding you to take a little time to enjoy the. Bye, everyone.
And hang on, for those who are still here,